Welcome, everyone, to the Meaningful Hearts Podcast, where we discuss the everyday questions that make us or break us if we let them. With your hosts, Drew and Daniela. Take our hands and let's walk this journey together. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Meaningful Hearts Podcast. Today, we have a full house. Drew and Daniela are in the house together. And today, we want to talk about motivation or lack thereof. Something that has been plaguing us in recent months and something we want to talk about. Daniela?
Yeah, I think you and I are experiencing a lack of motivation in some areas similar, but in different ways. So I don't know if you want to go first or if you would like for me to go first.
Please take it away if you're motivated to.
So I realized today I actually took a walk in between my sessions, and I had a realization that I really haven't been taking care of myself. I've just been thinking about all the things that I could possibly do to take care of myself. The area where I'm struggling with regards to motivation is my physical self. I tell myself, I want to, and I'm already a naturally fit person, but I tell myself I want to improve, I want to do better, or I find myself comparing myself to other people. We just took a trip over the weekend with my dad and his wife and her family, and my sister was there, and my sister is a beautiful girl. And I found myself comparing myself a lot to her. And I guess rather than motivate me, it actually just kind of further discouraged me. I've been struggling with motivation and I guess how I feel about my physical self for a little while now. But this past weekend kind of further cemented it. And so I think about all of the things that I could do, and then I just don't do them. So today on my walk, I realized it's really because I haven't been taking the time to do little things like just going on a walk or laying with my feet on the bare grass, which was helpful. But as I was sitting there, I was reflecting on, where's my lack of motivation coming from? And I'm kind of still struggling to figure that out.
That's a lot. That's a loaded shell or loaded balloon or something that's weighted. There's a lot of stuff in whatever that is. And
I would say it feels like a rock.
A rock. There you go. See?
A big, heavy rock in my pocket.
Boulder, but fits in her pocket. A compact boulder. A 1-ton boulder that fits in your pocket.
No, it doesn't fit in my pocket. It's actually weighing on me, weighing me down.
Oh, it's weighing you down?
A little bit.
Okay. There's some pretty strong shoulders.
Not really if it's weighing me down.
But it's still on you. You're still walking with it. That's pretty impressive.
I'm not even walking. I'm like stuck. That's what it feels like. That's essentially what it feels like. I feel like I'm stuck in this repetitive cycle of thinking about what I want to do, what I could do, where to start, how to start, and then not really having the energy to start.
Yeah, I can definitely relate. I'd say in the past 3 to 6 months, I've been feeling it. It's something that has been, I guess, echoing or vibrating, or I guess becoming louder, like a noise, like a siren that's in the distance and has become even louder in my ear to the point where it's disturbing. I would say that's more on how I'm feeling about work and the motivation to do everything that I possibly can to be the most successful at what I do. I'm partially conflicted about some of the things that I do in my day to day at work. Um, it's very much self starter. It's not like somebody sitting there, holding your hand. There is support there, but it's mostly just the fundamentals, the regular things that you need to do. And I find myself just, I guess, not motivated to do those things. And I'm not sure if it's just the type of work that I'm doing that's not motivating or not rewarding to me, because I've done sales roles before, and there's different sales roles that I've done that are, I guess, more rewarding in some ways and had other drawbacks. But I feel myself kind of stuck in a way that I know what to do, but I'm just like, for what? Right. And it's like, well, money is a motivating factor, right? It's something that you have to, the better you are at this, it's lucrative to the point where you could be very, very wealthy at what I do. So I'm like drawing at straws to try to figure it out. What is it specifically that that's making me feel this way? And I struggle with it. I come to work and I do the activities, but I don't feel engaged. I don't feel like, whoa, like a burning desire. And there are people around me that are just so like, oh, I eat, sleep, and breathe, and I'm really in it. I want to win this. And it's like, for me, it's like, not that I'm doing bad, but at the same time, I could do a hell of a lot better. And that's where I'm kind of struggling. I'm not really sure exactly what it is. Or maybe I do, and I'm just in denial about it. Kind of like a boulder, too.
Yeah, it's interesting how you can experience lack of motivation in different areas of your life. For you, it's about work. Although, like, you and I have had conversations about what's potentially behind it. I think for you, I guess I wonder if that's also what's happening with me, because I know one of the things that you and I have talked about is, I guess, whether or not you, or how much you love or don't love the process, or like the sales process of what your job entails. And I guess in thinking about my own lack of motivation, is there something that I'm missing, or am I lacking some type of self-love for wanting to do certain things?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's interesting because you love what you do for work.
Yes, I do.
And I show up to the gym and I follow programs and I eat accordingly. And listen, it's tough at times, but I push through that. It's not something, I mean, sculpting your body and having your own goals, there's setbacks and, body image and things that you look at and things that you're not happy with. And that could be a drag, but overall it's something that I've been successful at continuing to do for the course of years. And I'm finding success, but it's a journey that just never ends for me. But as far as work, that's where I'm lacking. And it's interesting how we have those differences, but like we complement each other as far as what we do, what we love, I guess, or what we enjoy.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess that's why I thought it might be good to talk about, because I think motivation is something that we all struggle with. And I know from the personal development seminars that you and I have attended, some of the speakers say, well, motivation is not something that you wait to have. Motivation is something that you have to find as you build discipline. And in an ideal world, that would be great, like for me to just switch. And sometimes I can do that. But in the real world, I think as human beings, we're a lot more complex. So sometimes it is hard to figure out how to do the thing, or how to push ourselves to do the thing. Because I'm thinking about, even this morning, right? I was like, okay, I know I have to be up by 7. If I'm up by 7, then I can get a jog in. And then 7:00 came around and I was like, yeah, I could use an extra 15 minutes of sleep. But as I was trying to use the extra 15 minutes, I was just thinking about the fact that I could be on a jog. Or like yesterday, I did go on a brief jog and then I did some stretching afterward, but I didn't enjoy the jog. And I don't usually enjoy running. Like, I don't think a lot of people enjoy running, but I usually do feel good after I run. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad that I did that. But because of the current state that I'm in after my jog, I was like, why did I even do that? Which is interesting. And then I got home and I was like, okay, I should do some type of stretching because I should work on, or I want to work on rather, my flexibility. And then I was like, okay, but do I want to work on my flexibility or do I want to work on strengthening? Do I want to work on mobility? Do I want to work on toning my body? And then I sat there for an extra 5 minutes looking on YouTube of like, what video could I do that would tackle all three? And it just kind of discouraged me. I ended up doing a stretch anyway. I was like, whatever, I'm just going to do this flexibility stretch. Because if I stand here trying to make a decision, then I won't do anything. But it was a process of having all of those thoughts of the things that I could do that I guess further played into my lack of motivation. I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that it becomes an overwhelming thought, and it's like, I just don't want to be bothered right now. I'm just going to put this away for another time, maybe. Because it's like you know what you want necessarily, you do, but you don't know where to go first. So then you start tackling everything, all the issues that you possibly think that you have or things that you want to work on, and then it just becomes a whirlwind of stuff. I feel that with fitness as well. It becomes overwhelming at times because there's things that I want to do or how I want to look. And then I'm like, is it the diet? Should I do a cutting phase? But wait, I want to bulk more. I want to gain more muscle and I want to do that. When it's like, okay, and now what do I want to work on? What body part do I want to accentuate? I want to put more work into. And it's like, I don't know. I want a better back. I want a bigger chest. But wait, I don't want my arms to be like, and I want my shoulders to be like a certain way, but how about my legs? And then it's like, but then I also want to show the muscle that I'm working on. So maybe it's the diet. So it does become, I hope I'm not invalidating what you're going through in any way, but I can understand what that's like with another part of what I'm dealing with as well. But I think for you, it's more or less a starting point, which is where you're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely say something. You're not invalidating. You're just sharing your experience alongside it. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle. And part of continuing to build or figure out how to build a more meaningful life is to acknowledge and take accountability for when we're struggling. And I've been in this rut for a little while now. So I started to do other things that might help give me a sense of clarity, like going on the walk today. And I started journaling again that I hadn't done in a while. And I think that's kind of made me feel a little bit better. So I'll continue to see where that goes.
Well, that's good. I mean, finding a way out. Maybe it's just a little peak hole that you could see through, and you maybe make that a little bit bigger by just trying different things. And I think that will ultimately help you, because when we don't have any sort of path or any direction to move in, that's when we start to feel like completely just like lost, if that makes sense. Feeling lost. I think that's what I'm kind of like, just when you don't have anywhere to go and you're just stuck in the middle and you don't know where to maneuver, that's when you feel, I guess, helpless or hopeless. And that could be rough. It could really be rough.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So I guess this is also a moment of vulnerability to acknowledge when we're struggling. Sometimes it is just about taking accountability and figuring it out from there.
Well said. Well said. Well, is there something that you could, I guess, recommend for somebody, I guess, that's going through a workplace issue? I mean, your strong suit right now is loving what you do. Maybe just give like something that would, I guess, point somebody in the direction that maybe is struggling with trying to find out what they want to do for the rest of their lives, or maybe something in a profession that they're just unsure.
Even though I love what I do, because I'm struggling with motivation in another area of my life, it's affecting, truthfully, my ability to kind of give some feedback, at least in this moment.
Okay. That is fair. Now, that's what I love about what the podcast that we have. It is completely real, and it comes from a place of vulnerability, and it comes from a place of comes from the heart. We're real people. We have we have an everyday life like everyone else. We have struggles, financial, emotional, physical. We're real people, and we just appreciate you for hearing us. Daniela, we appreciate you for being so open and just being your true self, and we love you for that.
Thanks, babe. I love you too. And the fact that people take time to listen.
And with that, I want to tell everyone that I hope wherever they are on this planet, they're having a wonderful, wonderful life, and they're pushing to become the best version of themselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of the day wherever you are, and we'll catch you on the next one.